Hello and welcome to the Stage 1 scheduling training video for the Dataflight scheduling service. To get to scheduling, simply navigate to the scheduling tool in the top left hand corner of your Manifest Central account. Select it and select the number 2 option. This begins stage 1 of scheduling, which is building groups of passengers and cargo. To begin building a schedule, select Quick Schedule in the top right. From here, simply fill out the information about the flight. The date that it will be happening, the name of this schedule. Now this will be something that's unique to you so that you can identify it. So if you're a clerk on an offshore facility, I would recommend using the facility name and then first flight, something like that. For this example, we'll be using the Pacific Khamsin, so I'll say the Khamsin first flight. The controlling heliport, this is going to be the heliport that's going to be managing this data. Most of the time, your controlling heliport will also be the aircraft's departing point. So in this situation, it would be Homa. Now, the situations where your controlling heliport would not be your departure location is if you were doing an infield transfer. So say we were going from Homa to the Khamsin to another rig and then back to Homa. To build the schedule for the flight going from the Khamsin to another rig, the departure point would be the Khamsin, the destination would be another rig, and your controlling heliport would be Homa, because we want Homa to see that information, although it's not actually departing from that facility. In our destination, we're just going to put where the rig is going. There she is. And now we simply need to add people. Adding personnel is very simple. We simply just search on the left-hand side under the last and first name column. You can search by just last name, and you'll get results, or you can search by last name and first name to get more specific results. If you do not find a passenger when you do this search, go to the Master Data tool on the bottom and select Personnel. It is important to note that if you do not save your work at this point, it will go away. So what I would recommend is actually opening another tab on the same browser with the personnel link and just having it open for you to use if you need it. So to create a person, if you need to, simply select the personnel option or go to the browser that's in it and begin looking for the person's name. You need to look at the person exists before you can actually create in order that we do not duplicate any passengers. Like this. Now, if the system does not find the person you're trying to search for, select Create New Entry. Now from here, simply fill out the information about the passenger. Their date of birth, this can be typed in, and one of their identifications. Most passengers need a driver's license or a passport, so either one of those would work. The important thing to note when putting in a driver's license is that driver's licenses have the abbreviation for the state they are from in front of them. So for example, a Louisiana driver's license, the ID for the license is actually LA and then the numbers on the ID. So that's the same for Texas, TX, Florida's FL, etc. for other states, as well as your expiration date. Passports do not have this prefix on it. Simply just put in the identification number from the passport and add in the expiration date. From here, simply select Save, and the system will come back with a successfully saved, like this. And we can go back to our passenger searching tool, and there is Charlie. Now, from here, to add a passenger to the actual schedule, select Add Two Passengers to Outbound. You can add as many passengers as you want simultaneously, so you can run through the search feature to build your entire flight before you have to click the Add Passenger to Outbound button here on the right, just to save you some clicking, or you can do one at a time if you want. To add inbound passengers, select the Inbound button here, and again search for a name. You don't have to do an entire name, you can do a partial. However, the more specific you can be about it, the faster the results and the better they'll be. Now, inbound cargo. To add inbound cargo from a schedule, select the Inbound Cargo button in the top right here and fill out information about it. one box, 12 pounds, attention to Charlie, and any notes. It'll also ask you for your initials at the bottom just to confirm who created the cargo in the first place. Select Add Cargo when done, and we're finished. At this point, we can add more information about the passengers on this schedule, primarily a charge code for the passengers. If you enter it into the default charge code option at the top, it'll apply it to all passengers on the flight. However, you can select the individual passengers and give them one that's different than the others. You can also input passenger weights simply by typing and tabbing through the system. Outbound passengers do not require weights because they will be weighted when they get to the heliport to fly offshore. However, inbound passengers, we would recommend you input their weights for the sake of planning. Once done, select Save Changes. This is the system complaining that the outbound passengers didn't have any weights or bags added to them, which is fine. We just select Continue. And now we have a schedule waiting for the 8th going to the Khamsin from Homa. Now from this page we actually have a few tools. So if we select outbound passengers, we'll see all passengers that are outbound on this schedule. If we click the Run ISN Check button, this will run an ISN check for all the passengers that are going to this facility and give you the information that they're going to have when they go to the facility. This is a pre-check for ISN that will allow you to get ahead of any problems that will happen at the actual heliport. So none of these passengers are green. You can see that by the ISN status here. 2 passengers have a no match, which means they have an ISN number, but ISN didn't find it when we ran a query, and this passenger didn't have any ISN credentials in the first place. This can be fixed by selecting the passenger's name, going to Credentials, and selecting Edit for their ISN credentials. Or if the passenger doesn't have any, we select Add Credentials, select ISN, and then fill out the information for the passenger. Once this is done, we can rerun the check, and that will give us an updated answer to his ISN status. We can also change the passenger's employer. If he was working for a separate employer, his last trip offshore, it will remember what his last employer was. So if we need to change it, simply select his name, and we can type in the employer that he is working for now. At this point, the schedule is finished, and we are waiting to add it to a flight. Adding a schedule to a flight is the second and final stage of scheduling, which is a separate video that will have been attached. This has been an overview of how to build and manage a passenger schedule. I am Carson with Dataflight Software. If you have any questions about this process, please call me at 337-990-2682, or you can send me an email at Carson, Karrson, at Dataflight, DATAFLYT.com. Thank you.